Supercapacitors can charge up your cell phones and also your electric vehicles from 0 to 80 in a matter of seconds to minutes. So, wanna know more about these super cool things? Keep watching the video till the end. So, without any delay, let's get started. Supercapacitors, they are also known as electric double-layer capacitors. By proper definition, supercapacitors are high-capacity capacitors with a capacitance value much higher than other capacitors, but with a lower voltage limit that bridges the gap between electrolytic capacitors and rechargeable batteries. So by this definition alone, you can tell where and how these supercapacitors can be used in our electric vehicles. So let's take our existing battery technology, which we have pushed their limits and also making the most out of them. We are using these lithium-ion cells in all our consumer electronics and also in our electric cars. As you might already know, these batteries are chemically powered. In the sense, they use chemical reactions between lithium and carbon to run electrons through the circuit, producing current. Then there are supercapacitors. Supercapacitors are different from normal capacitors, as normal capacitors try to store static charges on their plates while there's a dielectric in between isolating them. Supercapacitors work in a different way here, where they try to create a double layer of charge by introducing an electrolyte in between their plates and the dielectric, which can store more charge in them, which normal capacitors weren't really able to do. And also supercapacitors are able to achieve a slightly higher energy density because of this change. Supercapacitors comprise of higher power densities in the sense they can supply small high bursts of electricity instantly, which our batteries are not really able to do because batteries are quite limited when it comes to their power outputs. You can compare this supercapacitor and battery scenario with your storage of your daily computers. You know your HDDs, right? Your hard disks. They are slower storages, but they can store huge amounts of data. Now you can compare these hard disks with your chemical batteries, which can store huge amount of charge, but is not fast enough. This here is called the battery's energy density, where you can store high amounts of charge. Higher the energy density, more capacity of the battery there is. Then there are your SSDs, which relatively can hold less data, but has amazing transfer speeds. You can compare these SSDs to your supercapacitors, which can hold less charge, but they can give you amazing charging speeds when implemented properly with the batteries in your EVs. An average lithium-ion battery's energy density is almost 250 watt-hour per kilogram, but when you compare this to a supercapacitor's energy density numbers, it is only almost 20 to 25 watt-hours per kilogram, which is very less when you compare it to the batteries. And these numbers can literally tell you why we are not replacing our batteries yet with these supercapacitors. So we can't really replace our batteries with supercapacitors only for our electric vehicles yet, even if they're faster, durable and cooler. The bottleneck being our slower and much larger battery packs here. See, batteries can only supply a constant level of voltage or a spike of voltage when you need it, but that spike of voltage which these batteries supply don't really pack a punch like supercapacitors do. So let's say you want like the best torque pull right now, right here in your electric car. Guess what? Your supercapacitors can actually supply that instant burst of current to your motors, and there you go. And like I said, supercapacitors can charge up your batteries way faster because they have faster charging and discharge rates. So technically, your waiting times at the charging station should decrease exponentially. Now that we are already in 2020 and we are getting larger amounts of storage only in the form of SSDs, so you never know somewhere in the future where we might only be using supercapacitors to store charge and not batteries. Don't believe me? Toyota has a traction supercapacitors in their Yaris Hybrid R concept car. And also Toyota says that, you guys know the Toyota Prius, right? They might replace all the batteries with supercapacitors somewhere in the future in some stage. CapXX is a supercapacitor manufacturing company which has given us many electronic applications which might need short bursts of power using these supercapacitors in electric vehicles, which might use smart systems for their functioning. Say wireless sensor networks, sort of IoTs, which might need short bursts of power to remotely monitor all your smart systems in your car and report it to your phone application, for example. And then there are lights, all your smart lights or smart LEDs in your EVs or even in ICE vehicles, they can only use supercapacitor charge for their functioning and not batteries charge for their functioning. So that might be a useful application of supercapacitors. All your motion sensors and location tracking features of the car can only be powered using these supercapacitors, and there will be no use of extra charge from the battery. So all these smaller applications of any smart system can be only given to the supercapacitors to deal with, and the battery is kept safe for all the other high energy density needs of the car. And not only in EVs, also in our IC cars, we can implement supercapacitors in our IC cars to make sure that their other systems except the engine can solely work with the help of supercapacitors, which can make our current IC cars more faster and smarter. Now the question is, do these supercapacitors degrade over time like batteries do? The answer is not really. Like conventional batteries, supercapacitors don't have any moving chemicals in them. So batteries might lose some of its capacity to store charge after regular usage, but supercapacitors do not really lose substantial amount of capacity over a period of time. They don't degrade like batteries do, except for some environmental effects, that is. You can still use supercapacitor in its full capacity over a longer period of time, which can supply that same amount of voltage levels even after regular use. Well, by 2030, it is estimated that this supercapacitor market will be worth anywhere around $1.5 billion US. So there's clearly no reason why this tech shouldn't be taken seriously. So that's it about supercapacitors from my side in this video. If you guys have any more questions about supercapacitors to ask me, or if you guys have more info to tell me about supercapacitors, you can comment them in the comment section below, and my Instagram link is also in the description. You can check my Instagram page out and do follow that page. And if you ended up liking this video, do leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And as always, this is Pawan signing out.